Hello, come on in. Just in time for your Gemini July 2020 reading. Great to see all the subscribers back again. In fact, I've just been doing an hour's meditation for Gemini subscribers. And while I was doing that, it looks like a storm is brewing, and I heard thunder and what have you, so I think that rain will be on the way quite soon. I like doing readings in the rain, and in fact, as long as I'm indoors. And in fact, I've done some readings for a few of you, haven't I, since last time we met last month. And thank you also for referring me to your friends. I appreciate that. And if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, face-to-face, one-on-one, over FaceTime or Skype or something, just look at the information in the description box below. But anyway, let's get the show underway. And you know I use astrology when I use tarot cards. But this deck also has runes and Chinese I Ching in it, so they might prove to be interesting as well. They also have some biblical, ancient Hebrew biblical letters. There's the sun, incidentally. And there's one there, for example, a rune and a biblical letter. Here is this Son of Cups in the north. Gee, handsome devil for you ladies, maybe. Well, some of you may think that. You might think he needs a haircut. I probably need a haircut. Let's have a look here also to see what there is in store. Lovely. Kali, the mother of wands in the east. Kali, with her consort underneath her, whom she appears to be having sex. There is alchemy, major arcana number 14, I would say. Quite an interesting depiction, what? And what do we have here? Spider Woman, the mother of stones in the west. Look, let's have a look at this now. I think here comes the rain, so let's get your reading underway. All right, now we're talking about the tarot cards only. The playing cards are here for the energy that they produce. And this first card that you have here is the Sun. Oh, this is fantastic for you. I think first one out of the deck. Well, the sun here is a labyrinth of spirals, isn't it? And the trees line up with an order which never seems to be found in nature. And the rose appears as dreamlike. In a way, I suppose we have not yet returned to the ordinary world, but have moved to another higher level. The sun shows an idea of nature, not of nature itself. Now, I think what this is talking for you is it is bringing about joy and simplicity. Life for you is going to be wonderful. Astrologically, the sun is, of course, associated with the sun, and in particular with the ancient Egyptian sun gods, in particular with Ra. But I think what we can also say about this is that you will find that life is wonderful. You'll have energy, activity, excitement, and optimism. There's also something of a rational approach, I think, that you'll be taking to matters. Certainly a lot of confidence, and there may well be sexual desire. Well, the sun is the source of life and represents success and abundance, and this is going to follow you in your life at the present. The energy will get you through tough times, and the sun is going to illuminate your path after what has, I think, been something of a trying time. Well, embrace your goals now and give it everything you've got. If you have had tough times, things are going to get better. You can now move mountains. I think you'll also be hearing something about marriage during this time. Now, if we want to have a look to see what the symbols on this card are, let's have a look at them. The first is a runic symbol. There's a great degree of Norse, that is Scandinavian and Germanic influence in this spread of yours. This is a rune here, and a rune is a letter of an alphabet, and in this case it's the Elder Futhark alphabet of the Vikings of old. This one here is Gabo, and it refers to you obtaining gifts, both in the sense of sacrifice and of generosity, and it also indicates a certain balance in your life. All matters in relation to exchanges, including contracts, I think, as well as personal relationships and partnerships, are going to be very favorable for you. Now this thing here, this is an ancient biblical letter which is called Reish, and it's the 20th Hebrew letter from the ancient Hebrew Bible. It means head, leader, and beginning. It is the symbol of choosing between greatness and degradation. This, I think, really does say that the outside of the symbol itself represents the creator, and what is inside the symbol represents what has been created and the protection of the creator for what is inside it. I think what we're seeing here is also that the Reish is a container, really. It can be seen as being a container like a cup or a bucket or a house, and it represents containing the infinite, exponential growth. It also represents the constant transition, flow, and change of life. It is like a constant flow of energy, breaking through, breaking down into pieces, and building anew. It also talks about, I think, it has a derivation which refers to the secrets of the crown chakra, the highest point in yoga where one becomes illuminated as to the presence of God. But a particularly good time for you, this card. New things happening, things looking up. Now let's have a look at this one here. This is interesting, isn't it? Another major arcana, incidentally. Well, here it is in the context, but let's have a look at it in detail. Now, if you look at the image here, there's sort of a division, isn't there? It's sort of a diagonal line which is going between them. This side of it is red and this side of it is blue. So the diagonal divides this card between blue and red, between water and fire. The Grail, the Holy Grail appears twice. On the left-hand side, red Grail on the blue side, and the blue Grail on the red side, providing an interchange of energy. Now, these two cups, I think, come from the traditional image which is in this card of temperance in that old Rider-Waite deck. Now on the right here we have a circle which contains both the sun and the moon. The red background is pitted rock. I think that's a symbol of age. The blue side is ageless light, a quality of spirit. Now, up here we have the devil, really, I think. This looks like a devil to me. The devil face inhabits the cloud, signifying sexual life energy. And on the other side of its reflection is an angel. Can you make that out here? Yes, the angel. Below the angel and the devil is, well, really like a clown and a skull. And that refers, of course, to life and death. I think what we're talking about here, that this is a period here for you of measurement and combination of things. Don't allow setbacks to turn enthusiasm into a mirror image of dejection. Take control. Have moderation. I think it's also saying to you here that you will be looking around your environment and you'll be piecing things together, taking what seems to be a disparate, chaotic set of information and pulling it together to actually uncover a truth about something. It's possible that you will be uncovering something to which you were previously unknown. I think this card is also saying, because of all the rock that's around it here, it's a very geological sort of a card. If you can imagine the analogy of mining, it is, dig a mine deep down into the rock of yourself. Dig deep, because in the center of the earth, there you will find the hidden jewel, which is the real you. Yeah, fascinating card here. Now this, just looking at this image here, this is another one of those ancient runes. Now this rune means, well, what is it? It's a rune called Laguz, like a water or a leak. And I think what this is referring to, I'm just getting the images of flow, of water, of sea, a fertility source, the healing power of renewal coming into your life energy and organic growth, a great degree of imagination and possibly even psychic awareness I'm getting here. Dreams, fantasies, mysteries, the unknown, the hidden, the deep, the underworld. I think you will have success in ventures, and I think there is success connected with travel. I'm getting a success connected with travel, and also success in connection with things that you acquire. Now, just to have a look at this ancient biblical symbol here, this letter is the letter Samech. It's the 15th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Samech is the, what would I call it? It's really it's the symbol of support, protection, and memory. It means to lean upon, to support, to uphold. I think, again, the protection of the Creator is coming around here, and that's an analogy of also the Creator surrounding and sustaining all of existence, even though you might perceive yourself as being separate. The Samek is again like a container or a bucket which contains all forms. I think that this is trying to say, I think that this is teaching you circular thinking. It tells you to think for the good of the whole, not just of yourself, an ability which comes from your soul, and to be inclusive of everything and everyone. It is the principle that the wisdom is not contained in just one vessel, in just one person, but is distributed in all beings. The Samek teaches you that in order to know your Creator, you have to get out of your limited self, out of what you know and the limitations of the physical, so you can get in touch with your inner self. You must empty yourself in a way in order to be fulfilled. I think that this symbol is also teaching you that once you have learned to clean yourself of all the negativities and distortions and controlled your ego and found true humility and learned to listen to the inner voice of your soul, that you are automatically guarded, supported, and helped. You can then really discover what the miracle really is. Let's now turn to this center card, shall we? Now, this is an interesting depiction, isn't it? Now, this is expressed to be Kali, K-A-L-I. Well, Kali is the Hindu goddess or Devi of death, time, and doomsday, and is often associated with sexuality and violence, but is also considered a strong mother figure and symbolic of motherly love. Kali also embodies Shakti, as it's called, the feminine energy, creativity, and fertility, and she is an incarnation of Parvati, the wife of the great Hindu god Shiva. She's most often represented in art as a fearful fighting figure with a necklace of heads, skirts made out of arms, a lolling tongue, and very often brandishing a knife dripping with blood. Now you can see here that Kali's main color is black. Well, in ancient Sanskrit, Kali means the black one, or she who is black. And the main color is black for non-being. Now she wears a moon crown in this image and has 6 limbs. Now 6, of course, is the number of the major arcana, number 6, which is the lovers. And she's copulating with a dead, by the looks of it, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Well, actually, given his enthusiasm, it seems, at least in one part of his body here, perhaps he's not dead. But she's seen copulating with her consort, which is Shiva. A snake winds around Shiva, and Kali looms up, huge in the sky, her feet on the earth. She is, of course, in the suit of wands, which is flames, and she is queen of the throne of flames. I think the people of importance to you during this time are likely to be Aries or Pisces. Pisces gives her, though, a sensitivity and inspiration, and Aries gives her leadership and self-confidence. I think this represents a woman of adaptability, persistent energy, calm authority, powers of attraction, definitely. And someone who can be generous, but can also be intolerant and impatient with opposition. She has an immense capacity for friendship and love, but really at her own initiative. That is, if there's going to be a friendship, it's because she wants to actually initiate the friendship. She just doesn't take friendship from other people. In some respects about her, there's a self-complacent vanity, even a snobbery. Now, she can brood, come to a wrong decision as a result, and react with savagery. Now, this is maybe somebody that you know, you see, maybe one of the Aries or Pisces that I referred to. And I'll say this, that she can also take offense and harbor revenge, and very often without good cause. She can have, well, times of sort of down feeling, the blues, almost like a depression, which she can self-medicate with alcohol and then as a result come out with panic-stricken outbursts of ill-considered fury. I think that this is a time when you will be going through a process of self-discovery and remembering your power. You got to where you are by resolving difficulties in the past, and now you have become a stronger character. It's a time to express your natural beauty and move on from the past. This is a woman who knows what she wants, and I think you'll be in the same position. You'll be leading an active life, and I'll say this, you will be creating a very powerful first impression, and you're going to be very attractive to other people. Now, you've worked on yourself and made progress, and it's time to learn how to share this with others. Let your self-realization be expressed in your daily life. Wonder how you might share what you have found for yourself with other people. Have this thought in mind: I am a radiant being filled with light and love. Who do we come to next? Well, we're going to look at this person here. Now, this may well be someone who's in your life, or some of the character. He's going to have something to say to you anyway. Let's have a look at him. His name is Parsival. Now, Parsival actually was a romantic poem, I suppose, romantic piece of literature. It was a romance written in, I think, the early 1300s in Germany. It was written in High Middle German, and the central character was a guy called Parsival who was seeking the Holy Grail. It had an analogy with King Arthur's Knight of the Round Table, and in that case, Parsival there was seen as being Percival. But Percival went off in search of the Holy Grail, and in the process of which setting many a lady's heart aflutter. Now I'm getting Scorpio and Libra around here, and you've got what I'm saying that is because you've really got that kind of elasticity or volatility that's associated with Libra. There's sort of like an energy of steam coming through. This is, I think, a man, although these can be women as well, court cards, as you probably know. A man of subtlety, secret violence, craft, an artist, perhaps, who appears calm on the surface, but it really masks an intense passion. He is completely without conscience in the ordinary sense of the word. He is perfectly ruthless. He cares for power and information and his own aims. He doesn't feel any responsibility for others, and basically he can't be relied upon. I think what we have here, though, also is it may be that you appear calm, but this is masking a passion and intensity which could make you volatile. Certainly, like him, you will have much to offer and have immense ability, but just make sure you can be relied upon. Now, this guy's main responsibility is to himself. If you're ever in any doubt as to where you stand in relation to him, he can be secretive, hiding his deepest desires. Very much I'm getting people in the creative arts, which can also extend to makeup and beauty and fashion and things like this. But he's very good at shedding light into other people's lives, as normally he's done everything himself, and at worst he can be cruel and selfish, is what I think. I think what this is saying to you, though, is that you need to accept your sexual needs and passions and live them out with awareness. You will, I feel, discover a lot in the process. Give yourself totally to the experience and observe yourself in it. And maybe ask yourself, what secret wishes are you unwilling to admit to? Spend some time each day visualizing yourself and your desires without getting lost in them. Maybe have this thought: I now live out my sexual desires because this makes me more vital and fulfilled. And finally, here we have the Spider Woman. Well, I don't know about the Spider Woman. I do know about Spider Grandmother. Maybe it means that. Spider Grandmother is a legend that was popular with the Hopi and Navajo indigenous North American tribes in northeastern Arizona, southern South Dakota, I suppose, and areas to the west. Now, in that Hopi mythology, the Spider Grandmother was also... She had a number of names, and she could take the shape of an old or timeless woman, or the shape of a common spider in many of the stories. When she is in her spider shape, she lives in an underground hole that was similar to the room that the tribes would undertake their spiritual ceremonies in. And when she was called upon, she would help people in many ways, such as giving advice or providing medicinal cures. And she is seen as a leader, a wise individual who represents good things. Now, I think she is, of course, in the suit of stones here, which would be earth. So she really is like the queen of the thrones of the earth. And I think that around you will be Capricorn and Sagittarius. This is a woman who is ambitious, affectionate and kind, charming, timid and practical, quiet and possibly domesticated. It certainly bodes well for any domestic activities that you are doing. She is ambitious, but works with instinct and intuition rather than with the intellect. So it's not a time for over-intellectualizing things, I think, but just do what your waters tell you is the right thing to do. Quiet, hard-working, practical. So you'll be practical with things, to be able to do things of a manual nature, and sensible. You know, the person represented by this card possesses the finest of the quieter qualities, And I must say this, that she can, in a sort of a reticent and unassuming fashion, actually be very lusty and get into the drink and the drugs. It's always the quiet ones, almost as if she can only realize her essential happiness by getting outside of herself. I think that this is a particularly good card for you to have in this position, because this is saying that you will be practical and stay practical, that you'll be compassionate and nurturing and have that attitude towards other people and also to your own circumstances, and go with the flow during this time. She also represents health and diet, I think, because I think she's quite, because of the medicinal qualities that the legend assigned to her. So go forward quietly without an overt attack on existing situations at the moment. I think that this signifies that you'll have the ability to focus and produce things which are of a practical and useful thing for the environment and people around you. Say to yourself, I give my body the gift of loving attention. It gives me the gift of life energy, joy in living, and health. And enjoy the wonderful things that this woman brings to you. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, there you go, the month of July 2020, and it looks as if there's going to be great things in store for you, and that's great to hear, because you deserve good things to happen to you. You certainly do. Look, you were fantastic during that reading, as you always are, and really, there's really only one thing left for me to say, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.